You know how it feels like the last 2 decades, just movies keep getting longer?
They sure do. Yeah.
Do you know who I blame for this?
Who?
James effing Cameron.
He's a big contributor, for sure. Yeah.
I feel like now that we've covered him and I've seen the progression of his films, I feel like he's the one that kept making this mistake, and somehow the box office rewarded him for it.
That's true.
And so then
that's a big component of it.
And then, yeah, because it's all about the money.
Yeah.
And then other people are like, oh, wait, we can do this and make more money?
Yeah. I think you're right.
And I think Titanic was the peak of that.
That was
and that's why then the last 2 decades in the 2000s and the 2010s, like we've gotten all these other filmmakers making these like stupid long movies.
I think you're onto something. That's the spark. Titanic was the spark.
Yeah. But then Avatar reinforced it.
Yeah.
In 2009.
And then they do it with everything.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
And I would say the only thing in there that was even, I shouldn't say because there's probably something else, but the Lord of the Rings movies were also early 2000, and
how long were the theatricals?
Theatricals weren't. They weren't. They were all under 3 hours. So.
Right.
But yeah. But like what I think we see, and I think I more attribute to the last like the 2010s, like the last the really last 15 years, where you just get these like long movies that are unnecessarily long, and
yeah, I think you're right. Right in, if you can think of another example from. Yeah, let's go with the past 25 years. But
the 15 for sure. The 25 does go and goes to the early 2000s.
No, but I mean Titanic. I think that is the first. I mean that was 97.
I think it was the first, and then I think the Avatar 2009.
Sure, yeah,
like really cemented it.
Yeah,
and that's why I was like, that's why I restated it probably more like the last 15 years and not 25 years.
Okay,
from my thought.
Yeah.
But
I think you're right.
Hey, welcome back to Screen Time TV, a podcast where we discuss some of the latest TV shows / streaming shows. So, Jared.
Yeah.
Podcast with me and I love you like a brother. Don't, and I'll hate you like a brother.
You still, I have the same one.
You have the same one, no way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today
it works so well.
It works well.
Yeah.
It works well, and of course, we're brothers.
Yes.
For those of you that
I had to.
I think it's probably obvious, but
Yes.
Yeah. So my name's Josh, and this is my co-host Jared.
Hello.
So today we will get into the final episode of season 1 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Will it keep the name?
Yeah, and then we probably have some feedback, right? Because we didn't go over feedback from last.
And
because she sent it after the episode last week. So
no, it wasn't anything new, or at least what I saw in there. It was stuff from before.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? All right. Well, guess we don't have any feedback.
I mean, we if there's anything else, we can go over it next pod. But I didn't say anything. Unless there's stuff on that new app we just mentioned, but I haven't gone there yet.
No,
okay.
No, and then, we'll do a little bit of what we've been watching. Otherwise, other stuff we've been watching.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what do you got for? What do you got for?
Oh, what I've been watching. I have 2.5 things.
All right, 2.5
to mention. Yes,
and a half.
Yeah,
I'm the only one with half.
Yep. It's very relevant, though.
Okay. Well, I've got 3.
Okay. All right. You want to start?
So I'll start with Love Story.
Oh, this is my first one.
Hulu, Disney.
Didn't think you would watch this.
Explores the undeniable chemistry, whirlwind courtship, and high-profile marriage of one of the most iconic couples of the 20th century, John F. Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette.
Yeah.
Bessette.
Do you remember this in the 90s? Because I don't at all.
No, I don't.
Okay, because I wanted to ask you that.
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, what did you...
So this is interesting that we were... So I watched at least 2. I think I made it halfway into the 3rd episode.
Cool, okay.
Just could not get into this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really, I don't know. There was just something about... I think just didn't... Well, I honestly, which I think is the whole point of it, like, didn't feel authentic, the chemistry between them, at least in those 2 episodes. I just wasn't buying it that she was even into him at all. And then he seemed like he was, I don't know. So I kind of fell off of it after that. I didn't watch anymore.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, this is, I can't remember if you just mentioned if this is on Hulu.
It's Hulu / Disney.
FX, but it's
Disney. Yeah. Hulu / Disney Plus.
I wanted to mention, so the guy that's playing John F. Kennedy Jr. Hasn't been in anything apparently. When I looked him up, because I also looked up the girl. He's fine in this, but I think Carolyn Bessette is great, which is Sarah Pigeon, she was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one, which I guess what you have known her from. I didn't see that movie, but that was the only thing I think really in her IMDb.
Yeah.
But I think she's really great in this, and the one thing I actually really loved about this show is how much 90s Calvin Klein fashion, because that's where she works.
Yeah.
I just think it's awesome, and seems pretty accurate to the time period.
Yeah.
They don't say the actual year. I want to say it's mid to late 90s. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't remember this relationship anyways. So you can correct us if you remember it going on. But that is the part I did like. But I only watched the first episode. So
yeah.
But
they kind of, at the intro, they kind of run into and it's like, eh.
Yeah.
And then she's kind of seeing somebody else, and he's kind of seeing somebody else.
I haven't seen too much of the chemistry yet, so I don't.
And yeah, at least again, and then I mean, what I watched, even they still, I didn't.
Well, okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more I'll watch of this, but that was the part I liked the most. I thought the stuff at her job, thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that stuff was good. It was fun.
And then I recognize the actor that's actually playing Calvin Klein as well. I forget what else. I think he was in The Brutalist, is the movie I saw him in recently. But he's been in a lot of stuff. But so all that I think is the coolest part of this, which is funny. Even though there's other people what's her name's playing JFK's mom. I'm blanking on who it is now. But I was like, oh yeah.
Yep.
There's other people in it too. But
no, I was just the two.
Yeah,
things.
but. Yeah, so I understand where you're coming from with that, but I didn't get too much into it. I didn't get as far as you in the show, but
yeah. Well, if you end up watching a little more, let me know.
Okay. That's great though. I didn't realize we'd start with the same one. That hardly ever happens.
Well, we had the same quote.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Maybe you watched these other 2 things I watched.
Probably not.
Probably not. Especially at least the one. The one I know you didn't watch.
My other one is old.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do. So I watched the movie The Wrecking Crew.
Oh.
This is on Amazon.
Oh, right.
And this is Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa. He also has Marina Baccarin and Stephen Root.
Nice. Great cast.
Yeah. So estranged half-brothers, Johnny and James, reunite after their father's mysterious death. As they search for the truth, buried secrets reveal a conspiracy threatening to tear their family apart. This was, I would say, in the grand scheme of this kind of movie, that would be, whatever action movie.
Okay.
And a little bit of family drama. It was above average.
Okay.
There's some really kind of wild, gruesome, killings in this. That was the one thing that was, the violence was a little bit above what they it's definitely, and I guess assume it's rated R because I didn't even look beforehand. And this is on Amazon. If I didn't say, it's a straight Amazon movie.
Okay.
But it's the first time that there's shootout in like even like a street scene, and like the passerbys are getting shot down and like killed. And I was like, oh, they normally avoid that. Like it's normally,
that's true,
right? Like it's normally like everyone's dodging, and then it was like, no, these people are getting shot and killed. Like, and so I was like, oh, it's a little different. And there's definitely some later stuff like, there's some like pretty graphic things that are kind of like, I mean, in a cool, like, you know, kind of like, I mean, almost like a John Wick cool kind of way where you're like, oh, that was kind of wild and cool, like, but also gross at the same time. So there was, I mean, this is definitely not at any level to John Wick,
right?
At that level, but it's, you know, I think that elevate that, and then the cast. I mean, I don't love Momoa as much as Batista, but Batista, I love him, and he's great in this, and he's playing more of the, like, he's the tight-laced, organized older brother, like he's the older brother, and Jason Momoa is like the screw up younger brother, and it works, you know, and it's there's some fun moments and stuff. So I'd say this is above average and worth watching if you kind of want something like that. That's kind of a good popcorn movie. That.
Yeah, it seemed like I could tell from, because I saw the trailer for this and I was like, oh, great cast, but then. Yeah, the actual movie itself, I was like, this doesn't look that great.
It's predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, like plot line wise, but like it's fun action, and
it seems like a Amazon or Netflix movie. Yeah. That kind of.
Yeah, but like, I guess but my point is, like, if you group all those together, I'd say this would like kind of float to the top as a little bit better than those kind of.
Okay.
But, and again, I think the action scenes were, so I don't know who directed this or choreographed that stuff, but it was again above average. And that stuff, and then their dynamic kind of elevates it a little bit too. So
I'm
the combination
sure,
of those two things would bring it to, you know, more like a 7 versus like a 5 or 6 that you would be like, oh, it's a generic action movie. And so yeah, and Marina Baccarin, I don't know how you say her last name. Yeah,
she's great.
She's always great, and even if she's not in this as much as you would want.
She was huge in Gotham, but then like was, well, for me, because I watched all of Gotham, but obviously Deadpool. The Deadpool movies is probably one of the biggest things now that she's been in, I imagine.
I mean, that's what I know her from. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen her really anything else, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Because I didn't watch Gotham.
Gotham was underrated, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, it's shot insanely well, and it was on Fox. Like, it was just. Yeah,
like a network show.
Yeah, but like and actually filmed, I think, in New York, which is like, I don't know how they did that budget then.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway, but
all right, that's The Wrecking Crew on Amazon.
Okay,
what do you got?
So my other one is an old film that I want to talk about. It'll be one thing in particular about this that I really want to mention to you, to see what you think of it, because it has to do with not only film history but camera history.
Okay.
But the movie itself is called Marathon Man. This is in my journey of watching 70s conspiracy thrillers, which is I love.
Yeah.
And this is another one from that time that I've never seen. Have you even heard of this?
Yeah. No. Okay. I when you say, I was like, I remember I might have even seen this movie when I was like kid or something. I don't know. Does it have what does it have any like, this doesn't necessarily cement it, but does it have any sci-fi angle at all to it?
No.
Okay.
You're thinking of The Running Man.
No, I know The Running Man. Yeah. No, it's just like there's something, I don't know.
Some of these do have a little bit of heightened. Yeah. No, this is very grounded.
Okay.
This is on Amazon, and the synopsis: after the murder of his older brother, a New York history student is hounded by shadowy government agents on the trail of a Nazi war criminal who is trying to retrieve smuggled diamonds. Which is like...
it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Layers of layers in there.
So our main actor... Well, this came out in 1976. Our main actor is Dustin Hoffman, who is awesome in this. The bad guy, Sir Laurence Olivier, which is like also crazy that he's in this. And then Roy Scheider, who's one of my favorite actors, especially from the 70s. You probably the main thing you would know him from is the original Jaws. He's the main guy in the original Jaws movie, but he's been in a lot of other good stuff. But this is just done so well. Speaking of New York, filmed in New York, but New York in the 70s is just like so cool filmed. Like, and you can tell when they're on the streets, because I don't know where exactly they are in New York, but like they're just filming. Like you can see all these other people and they're like, they didn't say anything to them. They just,
because back then,
I mean, they don't, I guess you don't need permits, or they just didn't want to do it. I don't know if they really did in the 70s.
Well, like we said, like even the first Terminator movie.
That's true. We talked about that.
He was doing it rogue then. So like, I can't imagine in the 70s that was probably way more common.
No, and then it's like,
especially a smaller budget film.
Yeah, I don't know the budget on this, but also, I mean, Dustin Hoffman's like running around because he's like, that's why it's also called Marathon Man, because he's like training for a marathon the whole time. He's doing a lot of running. But like him, I mean, even Laurence Olivier at times is like on the street, and it's like, I feel like these people would just be like looking at him like, whoa, what are they doing here? Because you probably don't see the cameras or whatever. Anyway, but so to get into the camera thing then, which by the way, I'll just say, like, just everyone should watch this movie. It was awesome. But I found out that this is the first film to release of the 3 first films that ever used the Steadicam.
Oh, okay.
So, which I figured you would have been familiar with the Steadicam at least. So that came out around this time, mid 70s.
Yeah, that's true.
What exactly? I wanted to ask you, like, what exactly was the revolutionary thing with the Steadicam? Because I can imagine just by the name of it, but like what?
Well, it was basically it's an arm with a counterbalance to the camera. So then
this is easier for like running around, filming people.
It's easier to move. Yes, and move
without
and
a dolly. I guess I'm assuming.
Right.
Okay.
So you have Well, one, a dolly you have limited track, right? Like you can't. So you can only go so far in the track. Again, what are you going to go up steps and stuff? You can't. Like so.
Okay.
The Steadicam was what allows like potential like you think of like in Scorsese movie.
Which one?
That would also have been probably the 70s or early, I don't know. But like where you do like longer one takes and you follow people and like you just couldn't do that without something that stabilized the camera until this was invented. Like again, because of the weight of cameras back then. So nowadays you can kind of do it without it.
Are you thinking a Taxi Driver?
No.
Okay.
I'm not thinking Taxi Driver. I'm thinking what's the
Scorsese movie
for the mob with the of course doesn't narrow it down.
No, it doesn't narrow it down. There's so many. I say Goodfellas, but that wasn't until 1990.
Goodfellas.
That came out in 1990.
Okay, is that late?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Goodfellas definitely has a long like one take.
That's true. The way the film opens, yeah.
And like you just wouldn't be but still it was shot on film. And that's kind of the point.
Okay.
What I was getting at is like until you move over to digital and more like the present day, and then cameras got light enough that you can kind of like shoulder it or do like, and you can kind of walk around and then there's like even in camera stable. There's just ways that kind of like get some of the effect without having to. So kind of not always used anymore.
Okay.
Like the studio is a good example of like a lot of times that
right.
stuff's just shot on the shoulder, like a guy's in the shoulder because of the whip pans and stuff. Like you can't. Now they have other tricks and stuff. They'll put the person that's holding the camera, then suddenly they'll step onto a cart or something, and then they move them, or a jib, and they move them, the whole human with the camera.
Okay.
In that case, but like, anyway, back then it was challenging to even shoot handheld because of the size of the weight of the cameras, and so even to walk with that, and so then to create something that was like a counterbalance to make it easier to hold it out away from your body and let it kind of move and float and kind of to be able to walk over and follow somebody. This
is the perfect film to use that for. And then I don't remember why I found out about that, but then I looked it up. So this is the first release film that used it, but then there was 3 films. The other one I wasn't familiar with as much, but then the other one is the first Rocky movie, which came out around this time too. Okay. So this one and Rocky were the first 2 that, like, I guess implemented it.
Yeah.
which makes sense for the Rocky movie as well, for sure. But anyway, I wanted to mention that because it was a cool like piece of like
cool
film
trivia.
history. Yeah. So, and I knew you would. Yeah,
it's cool.
So anyway, but yeah, check out this movie. Anyways, it's awesome. But yeah, so you got one more. I just have like a trailer to mention.
Yeah. So this. Oh wow, no, that wasn't okay. There's a lot of Amazon.
Oh really?
Amazon. Yeah, 56 days.
Oh yeah.
This was.
I was immediately out on this.
So I feel like because this is like borderline in the wheelhouse of something you would like.
Yeah, but then the jump around.
But this leans too much into the. Well, let me read the premise, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
After a chance supermarket encounter, Oliver and Sierra embark on an intense relationship. When a savagely murdered corpse surfaces 56 days later, the investigation delves into their turbulent love story, revealing grim secrets. Yeah, so this definitely leans heavier on the relationship side. If you balance like how much is the past stuff in the 56 days versus the present day, which is where they show the
but that's
murder
what I mean. The
investigation.
timeline jumping around too much. I was just like, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
That was which I understand the 56 days. Like
I don't
that's
mind the jump around, but like, I was just saying like, I found this very, not just because of relationship stuff, but I found this actually really interesting because it definitely, as it progresses, and maybe you need to watch a little bit more.
Probably.
Because like there's later, it is more in present. There's more stuff in the present day as the kind of things revealed. But I've watched 7 of the 8 episodes, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you still don't know for sure who's dead in the thing.
Okay.
Definitely like, there's definitely
Will you
strong
find out
potential.
Finale, or are they like trying to do more seasons?
No, I think you probably find out in the finale.
Okay.
Because I think it's based on a book.
Okay.
So I think it's a close story, but and then there's stuff that you find out about like even our present day cops. Like there's more you start to learn about their story, what's going on with them, and like other things. So like kind of that affect things too. But the 2 leads in this, like I was not familiar with.
Me either.
And then the cops, like they both looked familiar, and I realized the one lady cop who was in Home Economics show.
I don't know that show.
Which is like a sitcom that was like on for a while.
Okay.
But anyway, but I feel like if you like murder mystery stuff and mixed with a little bit of like romance drama,
yep,
like this is a pretty good like balance of that, and even some gross like, I mean like definitely some in like intense looking stuff from the corpse and just dissolved in a bathtub.
Yeah, I think that was like the one thing I did see because I saw like the first 10 minutes or something of the. Probably not even because I think it was like 5 minutes and then it just like jumped around timeline and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, but anyway, the leads are Ivana Gia,
okay,
and then Dove Cameron.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah. So
related to James Cameron?
I have no idea.
I wonder.
Yeah, so those were the 2 leads, but I think they also do a good job of like, and this is a little bit of spoilers, and because you're not going to probably watch.
No, I'm not going to watch.
So first, you really basically both are leads that are kind of going into this relationship.
Yeah,
both are lying and manipulating about where, and like, so you really don't know even who's the murderer potentially. And then also you don't know who's dead in the thing.
Okay.
So like they kind of keep that, and it kind of floats back and forth a little bit. Like something happens and you're like, oh, well, she must have been the one that killed him. And then vice versa. And then you're like,
so you're constantly,
you're not sure.
Yeah.
And then also, or is it even one of them? And it's because in present day, they don't let you know, you don't see either one of them. So you don't know if either one of them are alive or both of them are dead or what. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right.
All right. Well, you said you got a trailer that.
Yeah, I just want to mention because of what we're covering, but we finally got, it's not full trailers, but a teaser for House of the Dragon Season 3. Did you watch it?
I did not.
Okay. Well, I
don't mind talking about it. I just didn't watch it because I just saw that it also mentioned it's coming out in June.
Yes, that was the main thing I wanted to mention.
Sooner than I thought.
Yep, they didn't give a date, but it just said June. But which I hate when they do that. Like, when they put like just a month on it. Yeah, I guess the full trailer, then they'll put the full date. I don't know, but yeah, I just wanted to mention this because it's a good time to release it, obviously, with the show we're covering ending. And we'll definitely cover that show. And I'm looking forward to it a lot because there were some awesome moments with the second season, but the way it ended, I think we both were not very happy about. Yep. But the teaser, there's a lot of battle shots, which I'm like, well, I mean, you kind of have to, since they like the end of the second season was just a setup essentially
for a big battle.
But yeah, and we thought we were going to get it, and it didn't happen. So I'm hoping this season seems like it is. I mean, I think it's going to be very interesting, very exciting. And then also just to mention with Game of Thrones stuff in general. So this is only going to go for 4 seasons, which I think is good because of the book it's based on with like the Targaryen history. And then season 2 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms already filming.
Correct.
I think they said they want to say it's shorter. They want to release it every year, which would be awesome. If they do that, I don't know if that's still the plan, but I saw something about that. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Question is what are they going to do after, right?
Yeah.
Because if this is 3rd season of that, which means we probably won't get the 4th season of that till. So then they're going to release, in between A Night of the Seven Kingdoms season 2, which will probably be released, late winter, early spring of next year.
Yeah.
They do a year, and then House of the Dragon probably
won't be till years,
it won't be till like 2028.
Yeah.
So, are they going to release something else and announce sometime this year? Like, hey, here's this other show that's gonna.
I haven't seen anything, but I know there's other shows in the works. Yeah. But they also canceled a lot of Game of Thrones shows.
They were being because there was one that was about Jon Snow, right? That was
and then he didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
which is good because he wants to do something original, like what he's doing in industry. Yeah,
dude, man,
which is awesome. Like, so that's I understand he didn't want to
season 4 Industries,
right? So like I understand from an actor standpoint for him. He's like, I did Jon Snow for what 10 years probably. No. He probably doesn't want to.
However long
do that. So
yep. Also, and then he also was in. I always forget. Like
he's not in much else though.
Well, he did that kind of side thing in that one Marvel movie, and he was supposed to be, and then it was supposed to be a setup for like a different like the mystical.
He was
stuff.
he was in Eternals.
Eternals, that's what it was.
And I don't remember his character's name, but the thing he opens at the end of Eternals was supposed to do with the new Blade.
Yeah,
and then I have no idea what's going to come of that.
That's still supposed to be happening, I think.
I
still feel like that's, but so maybe he will pop up in that stuff at some point. But all right,
the Eternals was like they got pretty much everyone from Game of Thrones in a Marvel movie that hadn't been in a Marvel movie yet.
And Kamal Giannami or whatever you say his last name.
Kumail, they got him.
He's not from Game of Thrones, but
no,
and he got all jacked for.
Yes. Oh yeah, that is the movie you got jacked for. Yeah. Yep. That was a bad movie.
Yes. Yes, it was.
All right. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Cool. Well, then let's get into A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, episode 6, titled Morrow. As Ashford mourns a great loss, Dunk considers his next move and whether to keep Egg as his squire. So what do you think of this episode?
Well, I wanted to ask you because I was kind of hoping this would be a longer episode, and I believe it's like one of the shortest, or around one of the shortest.
Around 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I was like kind of bummed by that, but I still thought it was a really great finale, but I just wanted it to be longer. But yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Well, it's like there's some great moments in this, but it was also like not a lot happened.
No, but it was predictable, like what you think was gonna happen, and like where he was gonna go from here, or where him and Egg were.
Well, I don't know what's predictable. I mean, yes, I guess.
Well, like do you really think Egg was just gonna be like, "No, I'm not gonna go with you"? You know what I mean? Like,
no. Well, the fact that we knew. I mean, so I guess, yeah. I mean, I think great performances, some great moments. I think this and even last week's episode, the writers, directors, actors, everything going into this show, being able to make me feel like in the last week's, like, is he really not going to make it? And even question, or is the season 2 going to be a flashback? Like, you know, start thinking about this through, and you're like, logically, you're like, wait, no, that wouldn't work either. And you're like, well, I guess he has to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, to even have those feelings and thoughts means they're doing their job. And the same thing happened in this episode where you're like,
with that, yeah.
You're like, maybe they end up together some other way, or, you know, like, you're like, because eventually, you know, they have to, but like, it felt like, well, maybe
it would be crazy to end this season and they
weren't together.
Yeah, until like next season or something.
Yep. But I was like, I don't know, because like they definitely were. I think the performances, everything was coming through and was making you feel like, well, maybe it's going to go a little different than I thought. And then of course the other thing that kind of,
I think it's good that also like they're sticking with the whole Game of Thrones thing where it's like anything can happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Like they do a good job with that. Yeah. Just like with the other shows.
Because
that's why you're feeling that already. You're like, well, I think I know what's going to happen, but you're still like second guessing it. Yeah.
Because the stuff with this episode, and we'll get into what happened this episode, but the aftermath of that, like, it's like you kind of thought there might be a little bit more blowback on him, because it's like one of those things where it's like, even though legally, you know, he fought the Battle of the Seven or whatever, and
Trial of the Seven,
and then like won.
Yep.
Doesn't mean, I mean, that's just the king, and he can be like, you know,
yeah, he could decide something
I don't care.
else.
Yeah, you're gonna throw you in jail anyway because you killed my brother, or because, you know, like, quote unquote, killed his brother.
Yep.
So yeah, so even that, like, playing out a little different.
Oh yeah, he didn't kill him, but he might. But yeah, either way, his brother is dead. Yeah, Baelor's dead.
Yes,
which is like, just that in itself, because he's such an important character, and to the realm, like, is like a big change, I guess. Not changing the story, but like just changing this whole world and situation.
Yes, the ripple effect of this into season 2.
Yeah,
because he was such a prominent, level-headed, decent human being.
Yes,
in this season, his loss will be, you know, missed, because he balanced out some of the craziness of the rest of the Targaryens.
Mm-hmm. Well, and once we get season 2, like, I think it'll still be a big factor. Like, in future episodes.
All right, well, let's get into, so we open.
Well, I just want to mention real quick a behind the scenes thing, because I thought it was just really great. Is I watched behind the scenes video of the actor who plays Dunk, who's Peter Clavey. And he said the first day he arrived on set, George R. R. Martin was there because he was pretty involved in this one. And he comes up to Peter, and the first thing he says to him is, "This is one of my favorite stories and characters I've ever written, so don't F it up." And I just can't imagine the pressure on him, but like, I think he like crushed it as Dunk, and it seemed like George R. R. Martin thought he was very how he imagined him, or else I don't think they would have released this, because he was because I believe he's still involved in the other shows as well, but I think I remember seeing something about like House of the Dragon that
he wrote the whole like post that he had to take down.
Oh, did he?
Last season, yeah, during last season.
So there's something he didn't agree with.
Yeah, he was kind of like, well, this is not how I saw it, or something.
Okay.
Like, and then HBO, I think, like, or whatever, was like, hey, you can't be. You know.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it was during. I'm pretty sure it was during season 1 too.
But this is just so cool because it's like, yeah, I didn't realize this is one of George R. R. Martin's favorite characters, and yeah, so like I just think it's great. Yeah,
because I feel like this is like non-traditional of what he writes, and the rest of it, because you have somebody that's like kind of just pure-hearted, good. Like I was thinking about like this, like I feel like Dunk's character feels.
He's not a typical Game of Thrones.
No, it feels more like a character from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah, or yeah, some other fantasy,
where you just have
more
like,
traditional fantasy character. Yeah, you're right.
Which most of it spawns from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's true. All fantasy, you're right. It's from Tolkien.
Well, like just inspired by like that, like the
no, he's the godfather of fantasy. Yeah. It's like Asimov is the godfather of sci-fi. Yeah.
So a lot of it's inspired by that, and that more of that you know, the just pure of heart kind of knight.
Yes.
But yeah, which is just unusual in the Game of Thrones universe.
It is. The digestible amount of this show, one good thing is that, like, because I mentioned last week, I kind of want to revisit some of Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. But like for sure, no matter what, like I'm just gonna rewatch this because it's what 3 hours. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, watch it as
it's like a long movie. Like
watch it as one sitting.
And like I was already wanting to do that. I was just waiting for this last episode, and then like
interesting. I don't know if I'll do that right now. I might give it some time, but yeah, or even wait till close to season 2 and then do it. But all right, well, let's get into what happened in this episode. We opened in the dawn, just after the battle, and we get Baratheon. What is his
Lionel?
Yeah, Lionel Baratheon and his maester like leaning over someone, right? Like we don't really know right off the bat, and it turns out it's Dunk just like sitting there under the tree.
Yeah.
So this whole interaction was funny.
It's great. And this was the quote. Yeah.
Yeah, and then our quote. But like, even the maester's like, he's dying, and he's like, nah, don't listen to him. He's terrible. Yeah, he's a bad maester. So,
Lionel's still like.
Yes, I hope he. So
he's still one of the best characters in this.
I hope he carries on to season 2.
I feel like he has to, even though they're obviously going somewhere else. Yeah. It's like.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, they could be.
They're gonna have to throw them in somehow.
They could have all new characters and not have to.
They would have to if they're going to wherever they say they're going to. But, I don't know. I think for fan service and just seeing what characters, which I know Lionel is pretty high up there. It seems like for a lot of people love him. I think they got to throw him in next season somehow.
But the reality is like they were locked with their script of season 2 and started shooting back in December.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So they don't have the benefit of being able to feed off of the audience reaction to season 1.
But what they could do is, I mean, obviously, yeah, you're right with the scripts, but what they could do is like what they did with this season, which the stuff they added that wasn't from the novella was so good. And obviously, I guess George R. R. Martin approved of it. Unless for some reason that character's in the next novella, they might just have to add in a scene or maybe even a flash. I don't know. But yeah, because they're going to obviously do that since they did that some with this season, but like in a tasteful way that I think just all went very well. Like I was looking at the the IMDb numbers for these episodes was like crazy, like insanely high. Like, so like everyone was, I didn't realize how much like everyone unanimously was into this 6 episodes.
Well, first of all, to the point of like I was mentioned before, I think more often than not, what people gravitate to is like looking at like a true hero, someone that's like noble. And so I think not having that normally in a Game of Thrones, and then finally having that, and I think also the post-COVID world where just life in general has been crazy, and I think it's interesting to see that kind of permeate from art. Like now, you know, because I mean, obviously there's years of delay, but I think this is like showing like people trying to put out a little bit of beacon of hope in art, right? I think, and even levity. This is got a little bit of that comedic beats in there too, and not making it so quite so heavy, even though there's like heavy moments. Yeah, and kind of
both the other shows are always so dark. And
and wrestling with that a little bit, which I think is also, I feel like a post-COVID, you know, hey, art trying to, you know, help culture, and I think you see that in this, and even some other just things in the
that's true.
The last year. I mean, I think even going back to 2020, you know, again, I love especially season 1 of Ted Lasso, but I think the reason that also resonated so well was because people
when it came
needed
out
something, and it is like that perfect timing of that coming out when people were just not feeling too good about things.
That's a good point.
So, so I think that helps this. I mean, and that doesn't diminish I think the writing, the directing, the talent. I mean, the casting, all this was so great. Mm-hmm. But I think that helps too. I think there's like a, you know, culture moment that's like, this is the right thing that people need right now. Yeah. Kind of thing where it's like, you still see some dark stuff happen, but to see someone that's still trying to have a positive outlook and be a good person regardless, and in a difficult world. I think that's resonates with people right now.
I think you're right.
The only thing I like to note is like Lionel having like the crutch too. Like, like he's also recovering, and it's like a lot. I don't know. I feel like traditionally in movies and TV shows, they'll have a few scrapes and bruises, and that's it. And in the show, like I think in the whole episode, you saw a lot of people limping around. And of course, I think the whole time Dunk's one eye is still swollen shut. So I thought that was a nice touch to react.
I mean, it carries over from what you mentioned last episode. Yeah. How realistic the fight,
visceralness of everything and real stuff. I do think also it was interesting that this is, even though at the small scale of this show, you still had the penultimate episodes when the big battle is, and then there's the calm after and the setup for the next season, which is like
it's the Game of Thrones formula. It is,
which is just interesting. But all right, so then we get some,
or is it how
Martin
races? But
likes to do it. I don't know, but he didn't break things up into seasons. But I guess that's maybe how he wrote the books. But like,
well, no, because the original
Game of Thrones wasn't really book by book.
I think it was the seasons.
Was it? Okay. I know.
So maybe it's just I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's how he likes to.
But then they still had to do that in House of the Dragon, which is just like all based on one book. It's like
which is what they didn't do.
Targaryen history.
Basically, what they didn't do in the last season 2, which is why everybody was, or not everybody, but us and many people were not happy. Yeah. So we see Dunk struggle with the guilt, right? Mm-hmm. And then we get the scene with Makor and Dunk where he's This scene was great, these guys, and it really, I think, even for Makor, like before this, he kind of just seemed like dismissive of him, and then finally to accept him, I think as like, not to say equal, but like at least as a knight, right? Like give him a little bit more respect was cool to see, and then of course ultimately asking him to let him squire, and then also get to train, like. Which I was like, man, I skipped over the line where he was like, come Lionel was like, "Come with me, and I'll treat you like, I'll love you like a brother." And then he's like, "And if you don't, I'll hate you like a brother."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he had that opportunity, which was a great opportunity that I think episode 1 Dunk would have jumped at in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
And then, and then this is like even more like, he's like, "Oh, you get to like hang out with the elite and be around the kings and princes and get trained by the best to become," and he turns them down.
Mm-hmm.
I think again, that speaks to what we were talking about before, like just the nature of him, like not wanting to be around more of the corruptness, right, and stuff.
Yeah.
And just like, I'd rather just be sleeping under my trees.
That's the thing, is that I think he really enjoys being a hedge knight, because he wouldn't be a hedge knight anymore if he went with Lionel. I mean, also obviously the big piece is just how much he's bonded to Egg now.
Right. But that leads
even though like Lionel and him have bonded also, but a different.
But that leads me to like the scene right after, because Egg's spying on this scene.
Yep.
And then then they have like in the hall, they sit down, and he kind of asks them again, kind of like, "Hey," in his squeaky little high voice.
Yeah.
And then he kind of leaves them with the kind of like, "Well, maybe you're not the knight I thought you were," which, I mean, kind of low blow, but fun Egg's part.
Yeah.
Right, because that's right, because he offers. Now I'm trying to remember what happens. Or does he come back to him and offer if he can let me? Did it all happen in the one scene or not? Where he's like, "No, I'll do it, but I need to take him with me elsewhere." Or is that later? He comes back and later says that.
I don't.
I think he comes back and does it, but yeah. But then he comes back to Maker and suggests, "Well, if he comes with me, I'll do it, but only if he comes with me, and he doesn't stay there because he needs to get away from all the fanciness and the stuff and quote unquote his family." But because he gets the scene with the older brother that's like the drunk, and he's like, "Well, that Arion used to be just a kid too."
Yep.
And then look how he turned out. So
there is with Egg's brother.
mm-hmm.
That's not Arion. The other guy, yep. I forget his name.
Mm-hmm.
When Dunk talks to him, he has one. I thought he had one of the best lines in the episode, where he says, "Perhaps the seeds of madness are sown in the womb."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was a great line.
Yeah. So, and we do get to see a little bit of like Egg almost murdering his brother in bed.
Yeah.
And
Makar's right there.
Yeah, Makar shows up, but like, so he's already taking steps in the wrong direction, so to speak.
Yeah. I believe this happened at least in my notes, I have it before.
Mm-hmm.
The flashback, Dunk's conversation with Sir Arlen.
Yeah, I was gonna get that. I had that.
Okay.
Like, I do. Like, I think it happens in between.
Okay.
Before he goes back. But yeah, I was just kind of like, yeah. So he has the flashback with Sir Arlen of Penny Tree.
The scene was so good.
Yeah. Well, we get why he's called where the Penny Tree name comes from.
It's so good because there's so much too. Like it's a great scene, very serious, but also like such a funny moment as well.
We think he's dead as he's like, "Why haven't you knighted me?" And you think he dies there.
Yeah.
And it does look like a similar scene to where he ends up actually having to bury him when he dies in the beginning. I didn't go back to confirm, so it might just be a different random tree.
I don't know.
But it feels very similar. But like he last second, like he's wakes back up.
Fake out, yeah.
It's kind of fake out. So like we still don't know for sure.
I mean, I think it's pretty much confirmed though from this conversation that he was never knighted though.
It's alluded to.
So.
It's alluded to.
Yeah.
I mean, also like there's the part where when he's talking to Maker, Dunk is, and he says something about like, well, why did, or no, it was Baylor. He's not Baylor, Lionel, and then we're talking, and he's like, oh, because when he's like said something about Baylor being dead and being like a good thing, and he's like, well, the gods don't frown, don't look fondly on a fraud or something, like
right?
That. And then Dunk's like, well, why did they look fondly on me? Like,
yep.
So it's again like questioning himself and if he's legitimate or not. Regardless, at this point, the realm recognizes him as a legitimate knight, regardless of, and then it's like, does the ceremony matter or does the person matter, right?
Right.
This where you kind of the question, but yeah, they still haven't confirmed, but like it alludes to,
I think
that he probably never got knighted, officially. I
have a quick thing of Dunk gives away his white horse Sweetfoot.
Yeah. So
this is around now, right?
His friend shows up and gives him the bottom of the back, and then he's like, "Well, no, he needs to go with you," and then he's going off to start a new green apple cider.
Oh yeah, because of the shield.
Yeah, and make hard cider or something.
Yeah, he's a cider. Yeah.
But
they didn't call it hard cider then.
No, but it's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
All cider was just hard cider then.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, so then at some point in there, and then Maker like kind of says, no, my son will never, he's my last son, meaning I guess the last one that has the potential to actually be a decent person.
Yeah, he's not too happy with his other two sons.
Yeah. And then we get Egg showing up right after and he's like, hey, he told me to come and squire with you, and then we get a nice touching scene where they're riding off.
Did you think in that moment that Makar really was like, yeah, go? No. Yeah, I didn't either.
No, I assumed he was lying.
I was like,
again.
No, there's no, yeah.
But but then we get the nice scene where Penny Tree riding off. He's like riding.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, and he kind of like
Arlen.
Just
a great visual metaphor for like handing off.
Yep. Yeah, it was. Really
he's
cool.
riding with he's the squire with his old master, and then he takes off, and then he has his new squire.
Yep. So that was cool. And then we get the conversation about where they're headed and the 7 kingdoms, and actually there's 9, which is like funny.
It is funny.
And like evidently,
and he names them all too.
True. Like there was evidently it was originally 7, and then they split one and made a new one.
I don't know.
So there is technically 9 now, but
I guess like I had no idea, and then I love they literally changed the title card even.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
At the end, just for like comedic. I doubt they're going to change.
No, they're not going to change the name of the show, but it is great that they literally did that in the title.
It's comedic beat there, and then we get a little. I don't say post credit because really it's before the credits.
It's just right after the
post title sequence where it confirms that he did not tell Egg to go because he's lost him again.
It just seems. I don't know. Neither of us have read any of the novellas, but like, so Targaryens are just going to be hunting them, or
I don't know. I mean,
unclear. I mean, that's it seems like it's kind of like what they're setting up, but
I mean, I guess there's a opportunity for both ways. I mean, opportunity for Maker to kind of be like, oh, I know what happened, and just kind of let him go. Kind of like concede to the idea.
Yeah,
and because. Yeah, or, to hunt them down and try to find them. Right. Which gives maybe, I don't know. We haven't read the book, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see that being at the end to then just be like, all right, we'll let them go. And that just Makar and all that just not come up in the next season at all. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also, another thing, I forgot to write down, but I just remembered. I believe it's right before Egg tries to kill his brother. I love we actually get a shot of his hair coming back in.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like the only time we ever see it physically on him, like his Targaryen blonde hair.
Yeah. So what do we think? I mean, season 2, like I said, it could be placed anywhere. Like
I don't know.
They go somewhere. They could introduce all new people, but also could bring.
I forget the name of the place that they mentioned they're going to. Which who knows if they actually will go there or not. But they mentioned it.
They do mention somewhere as like. Well, he just mentions, "Oh, I know there's a lot of puppet shows there or something."
Right.
Which also I was wondering. I thought, does that allude to is like trying to find the lady that Dunk liked, because she was obviously working on the puppet show there.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway, that was just a thought I had. The potential, but but again, it doesn't mean that's where they go. Or
you know what I was also thinking? They have to film these quick because of the little kid actor.
Right. Well, it depends.
I mean, unless they do a time jump.
Yeah, if there's a time jump already.
Yeah, but like they're gonna want this kid to still be little.
But even if they do like a year time jump, so they kind of move along with him, so he ages with the show almost or organically, naturally.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the smartest way to do it, honestly. So it doesn't. So you don't have to try to fake it one way or the other, because at some point his voice is going to change.
Yeah, that's always tough.
So just to kind of lean into it and just kind of go with it. I don't know. Again, of course, I don't know how
that was rough in Game of Thrones with Bran Stark. I think was the one that he like one season I remember like he looked like a little kid, and then like next season it looked like puberty. He got hit with the puberty bus. It was like crazy.
Well, also those as they went along got further and further apart when they were filming them, and like
that's true.
Time between each season was bigger, but but again, I don't know. I mean, if they got to stay faithful to the novellas too, what's the gap of time in between those? Don't know. So who knows?
I don't know.
So what's your just final overall thoughts on season 1 of this?
I thought it was awesome. I mean, I like I said, I couldn't believe how high the rating for these episodes were. I mean, before I looked through that, even I was just like, I loved the show, and I don't know. It just seems like maybe now this is out of the 3 shows, the one that's the most faithful book adaptation so far. It seems that way from what George R. R. Martin has said. Which if that's the case, why do you ever stray from the books? Yeah. I mean, because the original show, even when it was at its best, was when they were...
Well, when they had books.
Right. But that was one other mistake that they were like, let's keep going. And it's like...
Well, I think that was more on George R. R. Martin, because like they were like, we got 5 books, and by the time we're done these, after 10 years later, we'll have these other books done.
Right. That's the thing. It's crazy too, is I think he said he's like, I got way more for Dunk and Egg.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because there's 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he said something about like 6.
Right. Yeah. I don't
is he going to do that first before finishing whatever that last one, Winds of Winter, or whatever they always mention, the final.
I don't know.
Book. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. The pressure is real, I'm sure. But.
Oh yeah. I don't blame him. Like, reason why he is going to other things, because it's like finishing the original thing that you like started this world in, and like he's just expanded out into so many other things now, so he would rather like go into that instead of finishing the overarching main thing that got him popular in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Well, I think this was a fantastic season.
Yeah.
And a great addition to the Game of Thrones world, I guess. This
is another one that you could easily you could cut into a movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Really wouldn't have to cut it. I mean,
Yeah.
3-hour movie.
Yeah.
Probably it's around what it, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really good. It was really good.
It was.
It's cool. All around casting, direction.
Yes.
I mean, like the best action fight scene.
Yeah.
Seen in a long time, and
that's the other thing is that it is one of the best filmed that we've seen, and there's been so much and so many good battle scenes in these shows.
Yep.
And this is very high up there.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, let us know what you guys think. So, yeah, next we're gonna do Fallout.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
Fallout season 2 next week, and first half of the season. We're gonna kind of just catch up on that, and
we're gonna cover that for 2 weeks, and then I believe that'll go right into One Piece.
One Piece, yeah. So just if you want to follow along and be up to date on what we're talking about. But of course, we enjoy and love all feedback, good and bad. Tell us we're stupid. Tell us we're dumb. Tell us we're awesome. It doesn't matter. But please, send that in one way or the other. You can email it at feedback@screentimepod.com, or, leave a comment or DM, and we'll, read it on next week's episode. And then, of course, to make sure you get all the content, this amazing content that we create.
Absolutely.
No sarcasm in there at all.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, follow Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All some variation of Screen Time Pod. And otherwise, if you want to follow us on Instagram, each of us, I'm at Jay Youngbar.
And I'm at Jared Youngbar.
All right. Catch you guys next time.